woman, understanding your cycle is really important to giving you some power over your body. It's a really confusing topic, understanding the hormonal cycle during the month. So I've gotten myself one of these, Ovuplan, and what it is basically a little microscope, like a little bit like a magnifying glass, and you can tell when you're ovulating, well, you can see the hormonal changes in your saliva. So as you have more estrogen, the pattern in the saliva changes, and as it drops off, it changes again. So according to the pictures in the brochure, this is what your pattern in your saliva would look like. So you've got this sort of sparse crystals of estrogen floating around in the saliva from day 1 through to about day 10-ish, and then it starts to become more fern-like and more densely populated, and then it continues to become more densely populated until ovulation, and then it drops off. So I've been trying it. When you understand your cycle, what you can do is then either increase your chances of getting pregnant, if that's what you're trying to do, or you can control your fertility naturally without having to use contraception if you understand that this is what your cycle is. So textbook would say 28 days is your menstrual cycle, day 14 is when you ovulate. Sperm can live for 5 days leading up to ovulation, which means basically from day 10 to day 9 through to day 14. If you're trying to get pregnant, then that is when you need to get active. And if you're trying to not get pregnant, then those are the days that you need to avoid. So if you were trying to not get pregnant, you could follow your pattern, and then when you know you've finished ovulating and it's therefore safe, you can go back to having unprotected sex without any contraception. So with this, you need to collect a small amount of saliva, and that is actually a lot harder than it sounds. It says that you can just scoop some up with your finger. I have had no luck with that. You can't get bubbles in it because when you're trying to look through the glass at the bubbles, you can't read it properly. So you've got saliva glands underneath your tongue. What I have found is that if I hold my tongue up and just do nothing for probably a minute, eventually some saliva will drop and I just catch it and then pop it on the little plate. And you leave it for about 15 to 20 minutes to dry, and then you have a look underneath. You look up to the light and you can adjust it. You can twist this thing to get it into focus. And I would recommend just starting to do it wherever you are in your cycle. Just start doing it. Do it every morning or every evening and get used to doing it, because the first few times when I did it, I thought, oh, I don't really know what I'm looking at. Am I looking at the right thing? Am I interpreting it correctly? And then I did start to see changes, and then I went, wow, okay, now it's real and quite fascinating. Now I know exactly where I am in my cycle. If you're not 28 days, which probably most people actually aren't, they might be a little bit more, a little bit less, then this, like you can see then, you can still then work out where your cycle is actually going. So anyway, that's it.